friends, I'm Nancy Thompson with Create with Nancy, and today it's time for some creative ink and a fun fold. Let's see, this is my third Friday in a row that I've been sharing a fun fold. So I'm going to try my best to be consistent and to bring you a fun fold, at least hopefully a fun fold, if not some other creative idea, but I'm going to try to focus on fun folds for a Fun Fold Friday, okay? So come on in, say hello, let me know you're here, where you're from, and if you're new to my channel, I welcome you. I love sharing creative ideas with you, and so you in turn can share them with others. So you make them and then create them and then go and share them with others, because that's what makes our world a brighter place when you share creativity with your handcrafted cards. So come on in and learn a new fun fold today. It's easy. I got this idea from a fellow demonstrator, Stamp It with Jamie, and I'm going to call her Jamie B because I won't give her last name justice. So so she used a different stamp set or a different bundle. So I'm switching it up and I'm using the Earthen Texture Bundles today. I love it. It's so earthy. I love the designer paper, and I wanted to showcase that too. Okay, so let's get started. If you're here, come on in and say hello. If you're watching the replay, make sure to give me a thumbs up and a comment. I love hearing whether you enjoyed today's creation or not. Okay, so I've got lots of ideas to share, and this will probably be an upcoming class to go, or in person and to go. So watch for details about that, and let me make sure everything is straight on here, and then let me just zoom in. I can never get my finger out of the way. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more there. Okay, now I'm ready. Okay, so this is the Earthen Elegance designer paper. It's in our 2023 annual catalog, and it's just earthy. It reminds me of pottery. Well, it's definitely pottery driven, and I love pottery. So really cool different designs that can be used in a lot of different ways. So if you're always looking for masculine cards, this is a great paper for masculine, and also there's the feminine part in it too. So so that's our Earthen Elegance paper, and let's look at the bundle. Here is the stamp set right here. So as you can see, we've got the pottery and then some ferns, greenery type stuff, and some great words. It's kind of focused on gratitude with this. And then of course we have our dies. These dies are really cool. So there's a couple standalone dies that are not in this one too. In these let's see, that's 5 are standalone dies. So there's not a stamped image to go with that. And as well as this, what this one does is this gives an impression. It embosses an impression into the cardstock so that it's like a subtleness. So it gives some texture to just plain cardstock. So so that's really cool. And of course we've got ones that cut out the pots and the greenery. So, and I love this fan that it creates right here. Look at these. When you're doing this, you're going to want to stamp, and so look at all these fun things. I just have all kinds of scrap. I look through my scraps first, figure out what will fit, and then there's of course this fern right here. I love this. This really creates a lot of great to go into the pots. So I love that. So it's just really cool. Hi Kathy, welcome. Okay, so we're using that today, and then I pulled out, I love the ink and tile because I really didn't want some thank you notes today. I needed some just notes so I can have some all occasion. So I have just a few cards I need to send out, and I thought I would go with just a note. So that's what we're making today. And we are using, I think this is like a brick wall. I think that's what it is. It's new this year. So we're going to use that. My samples use the Time Word type. So either of these would be great to add some texture to our card today. Okay, so as I said, when I'm stamping, I love to die cut. Stamp and die cut a bunch. So even like take some of your scraps and just, as you've got that ink, go and ink, because it's a lot of cleaning your stamps and everything for these images. So just going in, even if you don't die cut them all at once, but just go and stamp your images on some of your scrap paper and then just set them aside. So that way that part's done, and when you're creating more, you can die cut them out as you need them. So I think that is like a helpful tip for you. So it helps batch your time a little bit better. And we all need to batch our time, right? Oh, all of a sudden I got a tickle. Okay, so let's make our first card, okay? We're going to do a little prep work. So we got some very vanilla here. This is a 3.5 inch by 8.5, and we've got a 1/4 piece of designer or cardstock that's 4 inches by 5 1/4. But we need to give this a score at 4 1/4 inches because we want to just put a score line in there, so it just makes it a little easier to fold. This is what's going to create our fun fold right here. So let's and then we're going to pull in our cut and emboss machine, okay? So let's pull that in. And then, because we're using a die cut, so this is our sandwich. I love how this tells us when, it tells you when you're using thin dies is what we're going to use. And I think I'm out of camera shot. It tells you right on the platform, and even tells you on this one too, okay? 1, 2, 3. Okay, because this will tell you also, place this die cutting edge down. So it's going to tell me we need platform number 1, which is that. We also need platform number 2, and then we need a 3, which is a clear plate. And then we're going to put our cardstock and our die on. So this is where the fun fold comes in. So we're going to create our fun fold with this. So I want to keep this fold. So the inside of this die right here, I'm going to just kind of catch it. All right. You know, just so you're feeling the fold against the inner edge, and this just fits on this plate or onto the cardstock. Okay. If you wanted to, you could do like a 3.5 by 11 inch piece of cardstock to give you that wiggle room, but there is plenty on here, okay? And with this type of die, I always like to try to put it through as an angle, as you can see. And then we're going to put another clear plate on top, okay? Just making sure, that one's off just a little bit, that that I've cut the fold and it's straight, okay? And then we're going to just send it through. Here we go. Hi, Shirley. Welcome. I'm glad to see you join us. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here because we need to do our embossing next. So this just pops off really, really easy. Let me just move it over to the side here just for a minute. So this just really comes off very easy. And so there's plenty of room there. Now look at this. This is the part that we had brought down, and then let's see. It will cut through both of these. There you go. So it's all folded and it's not cut. Okay, so this is going to create the fun fold on the front of our card. Okay, hi Colleen, welcome. All right, so what are we going to do next? We're going to emboss our 1/4 sheet. So let's go back to our platform. I know we're not going to need these, but we're going to read this again. So we're using a 3D embossing folder, and they're labeled in our catalog too, so you can see that, okay? So embossing folder, it says 3D. Now this one, if it was a standard one, it tells you up here, but we're using this one because it's 3D. So it's plate number 1 and plate number 4. That's all we need. And let's grab our sheet here that's been cut down. Remember, this is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And if you really wanted to make sure this is straight, I think I got it in there pretty straight. There's a straight line here to help straighten up your paper so you can put it in straight. So always the fold in first, okay? And we're using plate number 4, which is this gray one. And that's all. No clear plates on this one at all, okay? And if you're really struggling to get it through, then you know you have your sandwich wrong. And you're going to want to back it back out and try it again. What I love about our Stamp Cut and Emboss machine is it folds up and it makes a more compact machine to store. Okay, so we're done with this. So that's all we need for today. Just want to make sure these are level on my table so they don't go falling down. But let's look at that. Look at the texture on this. I think I almost like this one a little bit better than the Time Worn. So there's the texture on there. If you wanted to, you could take a blending brush and add a little bit of, you know what, maybe we will do that. Let's just do that because I didn't do it on the last one. You could keep it plain, or if you wanted to, let me see if I got a brown one here. I gotta look at my blending brushes. What do I have? That's green. I don't know if I have a brown one. Here we go. Here's a blank one. So we'll go with this. Now our blending brushes are so nice and soft and bristly, or not bristly, but they're just so soft. So so you can pick up some ink and you can just highlight this raised part right here. So it deepens it up. You could even ink up your, we should do that sometime, ink up your cardstock, your embossing folder as well. And I should be starting off more and then moving on because I got a big glob there. Let's see if we can buff that out. And then the raised impression will definitely only get the ink on it, which is another cool technique. Okay, that really deepened it up quite a bit. Okay, so let's move that out of the way. So this is a really simple card to create, okay? It is just, hi Colleen, welcome. You're not late, we're kind of just getting started. I need some glue here. So we're gonna, so we're using a quarter sheet, a 4 1/4 by 5, by 5 1/4, or yeah, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This one's 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I think Jamie only used 1 layer of cardstock, but I decided to add 2 layers here just to strengthen it up. Okay. You know, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to go back and look at her post again. Okay, so we've got that. Now we're going to do our fun fold here. And I'm going to just crease that just a little bit more. And this could really be any color. I kept it vanilla because I wanted to be able to write on the inside. So I have a simple piece of designer paper from the Earthen Textures, Earthen Elegance designer paper is what it's called. And I believe this paper is 2 5/8 by 3 7/8, okay? And it's just gonna perfectly fit into here within the stitching and have just a little bit of hint at the top, okay? Can you see that okay? Just so it kind of balances it a little bit. And then I have a tiny little strip here that we're going to put inside just to give it a little bit more decoration. This is just a 1/2 inch by 2 5/8. So we'll put this down here. And there we go. Okay, we're almost done with this. So let's add this to our card. And as you know, I I have lots of stuff to pick and choose from. So I'm just going to center this on here. Okay, I'm going to make sure this is straight. I'm going to need to pull this up a little bit. Make sure that's straight. That's the biggest thing, straight and then equal distance. So let's give that a minute. So look at that, just a simple fun fold, okay? All right, so let's look at, I need to find my sample here. Here we go. Is that one? No, that's not the one. Here we go. What did I make? All right, so I have a color that I didn't use before. So I've already stamped and die cut stuff. So I think I'm going to use the copper clay because I can see some copper clay in my card here. And here is my host code if in case you really need to order any of these supplies. Let's zoom in a little bit. So we'll use some copper clay, and then we'll use some pretty peacock to put a little thing on our, like a handle, a rim on our pot here. So let's add this on, and then the fun part's going to be deciding what kind of fern greenery should we use. Now, I'm going to kind of like center this, and I can see there's just a little hint showing, so I'm going to just give that pot just a little bit of a haircut there, okay? That looks better. There we go. All right, so we've got our pot there. So we need to figure out what kind of greenery. So I think maybe a little bit of pebble path, and then I don't know. I don't really want to do peacock because that's too close to that. Maybe the gray granite. I don't know. Is that too dull and boring? My sample used the wild wheat, and I didn't cut any extras of that. I kind of totally forgot about doing that because it wasn't in the collection there. I don't know. What do you think of Moody Mauve and Pebble Path? What do you guys think of that? Anybody got a thought there? Or we also have, let's see, I have these ferns too. I'm wondering if this would look okay. If we did this, this is Pebbled Path. I feel like I like the contrast. I don't know, what do you guys think of that one? Do you like A or B? Anybody? And let's look at let's just snip that in there. Let's pull this out. This is what took me so long to figure out designing these samples. It took me forever to kind of like have a nice mix of colors, pots too. You know what? I don't know. I think I like that one. What do you guys think? Anybody got an opinion? All right, we're going to go with this. So let's just add a little bit of glue here in the center. Okay, and let's just set that down. So when you're doing this fun fold, you want to make sure nothing extends past this fold. Otherwise, it's going to get, you know, bent. Okay, so keep that in mind. Well, let's add this. And I just kind of put these at an angle, and I'm just putting a little glue in the center there. Okay, so let's do that. And then we're going to add some dimensionals to this. Okay, so let's, I like the edge part of these dimensionals. Whoop, that one's already cut. Yay. So I like it there. And then I think we'll kind of do this corner one down here. And we'll add, Jack, it's fine. We'll add this over here. Okay, there we go. Okay, Jack's cleaning up from lunch. Okay, you like B. All right, I can't remember which one was B, Shirley, but we're gonna go with this. All right, since I've already glued, I don't know if the leg is behind or not. So I've simply added some dimensionals onto the back here, and we're just going to add that onto there. Simple. And then I was wondering about, how about a little bit of trim on here? You know, and I probably should have done that beforehand. So let's add a little thin, that's really thick, of glue. Let's give that a minute to dry. So this trim is part of the Earthen Elegance Suite. It's called wavy trim, which I don't know, it's a wavy trim and it's braided, so I love it. So we're gonna cut off at the thing. I think we needed 3 little scallops there. So let's do that and just apply it down on there. Look at that. Ah, I love it. I love that. It makes it simple, because my other samples I tied a bow with using the jute twine here. So this is fun. Most of the colors are in this designer paper, so it makes a great coordination to go with it. Okay, let's jazz it up with a little bit of, these are the neutral adhesive sequins here. So let's add a little bit. So I think we'll go with the copper here, and let's just pick up some coppers. You can use your pick tool, the pointy end, if you want. Let's put one up there, and then let's go down here, I think, with a couple. I can never decide where to put them. Okay, what do you think? Isn't that such a simple and easy card to create? But let's jazz up our envelopes. I gotta figure out what I did with the envelopes. Hang on. Let me see if I can find any here. Okay, here we go. So how are we gonna create an envelope? So this week I'm gonna be sending out a kit. And the pots will not be stamped, but you can use any type of background to stamp and add some texture to your pot. Okay? And it will have the ferns in it. There'll be a mixture of ferns in it, a couple ferns in it, colors to coordinate. Okay, so let's pull in, I think we'll use the copper or pecan pie ink for our pot. And I didn't think about this. What other colors? You know, I didn't grab ink colors. Let's go with Pretty Peacock. And I need to grab that ink pad. There we go. Let's grab the Pretty Peacock ink pad. And we're going to need a sticky note. Okay. So let's grab a sticky note, because we're going to need to do a little masking. Let's put the ink away, move a little bit out of here. So let's just do this short pot here. And we're gonna just put it right here. There we go, there's our pot. Now we're gonna add this fern, this greenery here. So we're going to need to cover this up, and you want just a hint of that pot showing, okay? When you see that, you want just a hint, because for some reason, to make the transition, you need to have just that hint. So when the stamp hits the sticky note, there's just this transition. So trust me, you want just a wisp of that, whatever you're stamping, to show. Okay, hopefully I do this right and don't get... All right, see how you just get like a little wisp showing? And I'm always off to the left. I need to move it on over, because I think my, I think why I do it, because this is really die cut really close to the edge here, and I got to remember that with that stamp. So let's do the reveal. There we go. We have our fern on our pot. Isn't that beautiful? So there is, this is the card we made. So there's our card today. What do you guys think? Thanks, Mary Pat, and welcome. Thanks, Shirley. Okay, so let's look at the other samples that I have to share with you. And let me just close up the ink so you don't get any ink on them. So remember, when you're using this set, make sure and stamp a whole bunch of stuff on scrap as you're using each color, so that way you're not going back, and because I did a lot of cleaning of stamps when I'm doing this, and I'm like, okay, let me just go and stamp a whole bunch on scrap and be done with it. But I can die cut them anytime. Okay, so we've got that one with this pottery design. We have this one. This is a, you know what? I didn't glue this down. Hang on. Because I switched this around. I don't know why I didn't glue this down. So let's do this. Here we go. Okay, so let me bring that down just a little bit more. And I'm looking to see if the words are going in the right direction. Oh, I didn't put any words on here. Hang on, hang the phone up. Let's see. Are words going to look okay there? You know what? I think I might just kind of leave it. What do you guys think? Would you put words on this, or would you, would you add the label there, or would you leave it alone? So I'm going to just kind of set that aside. So here's this one. And then this is with copper clay background, and let's see here. We've got Misty Moonlight and the Pebbled Path cardstock for the fernery. And then we have Misty Moonlight background, and it's got this Moody Mauve color scheme in it. And I think I need to zoom back out for you guys so you can see this a little bit better. I think I need to move things back out of the way for you guys. Here. Got way too much going on. All right, what did I do with the rest of my samples? I've got things mixed up here. So leave it alone. Okay, Shirley. So we've got those two. Here's Pebbled Path background, okay. And then we have Pretty Peacock. This is Moody Mauve. And Pecan Pie, like what we just did. I don't think I can get this in. I think I'm zoomed out all the way. So what do you think? Are they all, so this is using the 6 designs, and all 6 pieces of designer paper. So you can get a really nice collection with this. Wouldn't this just make a beautiful class? So this will be coming up here for in-person classes, and I'll work on offering it as a to-go option too. You would just need to, they will just have the stamp set and die to do this. Okay, so let's compare the two again as to what you liked. So you definitely think leave it alone versus adding the thing. I think leave it alone too. I don't know, it just kind of runs out of room there. And sometimes you just don't need anything, right? And then it's just total inside blank, and it can be as creative as you want. Okay, I hope you enjoyed today's card fun fold, and I'm going to try my best to offer a fun fold every single Friday or some type of technique, okay? So here on YouTube, so if you are new to my channel again and you're watching the replay, please come and, whoops, I don't want to do that one. I want this one. Sorry, guys. So please come and subscribe and hit that bell so you get the notification that I'm live again. And let's see what else. And also on Wednesdays, on Wednesdays at 3 p.m., it's a Facebook Live or YouTube. You can view on either channel, whatever your choice is. But either way, and always know that you can find all these videos in my playlist, so you can go and watch them anytime, again and again and again. Okay, everyone, have a great weekend, and thank you so much for joining me for some creative ink. Bye-bye.